Hello, magandang hapon po. Ang pag-usapan natin po sa ngayon yung inanunsyo ni Secretary, Department of Justice, Boying Rimulya na gagastusan ng Pilipinas ang pagpapadala ng mga testigo laban kay Digong Duterte mula sa Pilipinas papunta sa Daheg. At gagastusan din siyempre mga tirahan doon. At bibigyan pa ng magha-hire pa sila ng security escorts. Siyempre pagdating sa Daheg, ang escorts nila mga Dutch citizens na. Yan na naman ang pwede doon magbitbit ng armas. So, yan po ang inanunsyo ng Department of Justice na iniisip ko lamang, pinapalagay ko na lamang na dahil naman sa isang balita na nagsasabi na nag-request ang ICC sa Philippine government to assist them ay ibig sabihin official na nagagawin yan ni BBM. Kung official ba nagagawin yan ni BBM, although ang pakay niyan ay para sa paghahanap ng katarungan, ang tanong lamang po ng bayan, yan po, may katwiran ba ang paggagasta o di kaya baka naman yan po ay mauuwi sa plunder? Yan lamang po ang tanong natin. Bakit ko po tinatanong yan? I am asking that question. It is because it is stated in our Constitution under Section 25 of Article 6 that says that no amount of money, no single peso can be dispensed with, disbursed, or spent from our coffers or the treasury uh, coffers without the corresponding law. So meaning to say, I'm asking, is there a law that allows the Philippine government to spend for money to be spent for the witnesses of the case of crimes against humanity against Digong Duterte? If there is a law, there is no problem with that. But if there is no law, that is the very big problem of BBM. But BBM is inclined. In fact, they have announced that they will be providing logistics, which means money and board and lodging and security escorts as well if they will be testifying before the ICC. That is what they want to do. And make no mistake, Boying Rimulya already announced it. So therefore, the issue is it legal? It is legal if there is a law that allows them to do so. Imagine, bago po yun magiging legal, kailangan nakasama yan sa tinatawag na 2025 General Appropriations Act. At dahil hindi yan napasama, sigurado naman ako na hindi napasama. So ano ngayon ang mangyari niyan? Ang mangyayari niyan po ay kailangan hanap sila saan budget pwede kukunin. Doon po nila pwede kukunin sa intelligence fund, hindi pwede. Doon po sa contingency fund ng 11 billion ni BBM. Kaya lang, ang kalahati ng contingency fund ay binigay na bilang ayuda para makapagbenta sila ng 20 pesos per kilo na bigas. So, saan nila kukunin yan? Besides, wala pong authority, pinipilit ko po na wala pang batas na nilabas para payagan ng batas natin na gagastos ng pera para ipabasahe, ipa-allowance, ipagbayad sa mga security escorts doon sa Dinheg, mga Dutch security forces ang kailangang babayaran para bantayan ang mga testigo na mga pamilya ng mga biktima ng namatayan noong war on drugs. At saka ang mga pamilya rin ng biktima ng namatay sa Davao Death Squad noong panahon na si Digong Duterte ay mayor. Okay? So, ang tanong lamang ng bayan ay ganito. Basta may batas lang, walang problema. Another thing is, mag-complicate ang matter is, nag-withdraw na kasi tayo sa ICC at mismo si BBM ay tinayuan niya na hindi tayo kasapi. Nagsampa pa nga yan ng petition sa pre-trial chamber na i-defer ang investigation kasi may kakayahan naman daw ang Pilipinas sa pagkaso laban kay Duterte. Pero hindi naman nila tinupad. So ibig sabihin sinasadya ata ni BBM na kaya naman nila kasuhan at hindi nila ginagawa. So kaya binawi ngayon ng ICC at ipinagpatuloy sa ICC Prosecutor's Office sa pag-imbestiga. Yan po ang totoong nangyari. Sa panahon ni Minardo Guevara na Solicitor General, it was at the time when the Philippines expressed to the ICC that the Philippines is not embracing the idea that ICC still has jurisdiction over the crimes that are being accused against Duterte. But then, he is now turning his back as if only Duterte is his friend. That is an act of treachery. Pagkatraidor ni BBM sa mga Duterte na tumulong sa kanya para ilibing ang tatay niya sa gumasta ng political capital si Duterte para lamang mailibing si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. sa libingan ng mga bayani. At gumastos din siya at ng political capital na pumayag si Sara Duterte na tumakbo alongside him. Kasi sigurado ako matatalo sila kay Leni Robredo kung talagang fair and square na labanan, kung wala lang Smartmatic, talagang matatalo siya kay Leni Robredo. Kung walang kapagkampi ng mga DDS voters. Yan po. So, nevertheless, despite that statement of mine, I do believe na talagang minaniobra ng Smartmatic ang panalo ni Sara at saka ni BBM. That's it. Sa akin lang ngayon, my question remains the same. If there is a law that could justify the spending of money to be spent for the security, the board and lodging of the witnesses in The Hague, and then the plane fare from Manila and to The Hague and back, walang problema. But the problem is there such a law. The problem is, wala pang batas tayo. So, meaning, bahala sila kung sumugal sila. Nevertheless, marami naman hindi naman nakapagsara yung mga tao na nakatingin sa corruption. That is a corruption pag ginastos sila yan. Ngayon, mayroong bukas ng idea nagsasabi na babalik daw ang Pilipinas, ibabalik daw ni BBM sa ICC ang Pilipinas. The question is, can it be done? Ang problema ni BBM, susulat siya sa ICC, ang sulat niya ay kukontrahin yan subject to the confirmation of the 2/3 vote of the Senate. Hindi niya kayang kunin ang 2/3 vote ng Senate para pumayag, para mag-rejoin. Hindi pwede sabihin nila kailangan pa bang hindi na kailangan ang boto ng Senado kasi for the last time na ratified na. Pero but that ratification was for the first application. And that application of that ratification that was voted, including BBM, he was also one of those who voted for the ratification of membership of the Philippines to the International Criminal Court or Rome Statute during the time of Noynoy Aquino. But then, can he do it without the concurrence of the senators? No, he cannot do it because anything that causes prejudice to any people in the Philippines, kahit hindi siya Filipino citizen, must be a law. And if it becomes a law, it must be published. And if it must be published, it must be ensured that it passes through the judicial due process. If only for one proposal to become a law, it must be published. Ito nga, may issue pa nga, hindi pa nga pala na-publish yung Rome Statute sa Pilipinas. So, that makes another complication. In-express ko lang yung ideya para naman makikita ng mga tauhan ni BBM ang lahat ng problema at kung meron silang curative measures, they can do it. For me, there is no problem with us to go back to ICC. The only problem is, can we sustain the money to be given to ICC every year? Because if we rejoin, we have to give our contribution to the ICC every year. Like for example, Japan. Japan is giving almost 100 billion pesos to the ICC to be used by the ICC to pay its judges, to pay its prosecutors, to pay all its employees, and to pay its all expenses. To be paid, one expense of the ICC is to pay the lawyers of those accused who do not have any lawyer. That's it. 2 million a month is the budget of the ICC for a lawyer to stand as a lawyer of any victim or any accused in the ICC. So the question really remains the same. Is it allowed under the law? Ngayon, let us compute how much money or how much pesos shall be needed to pay for one witness. This witness will be flying to The Hague, and maybe 100,000, maybe 80,000 is the budget in going there, and in coming back 180,000, so 160,000 pesos for one witness. Then we talk about the board. How much shall be paid? Hindi po sila paid, kailangan hotel sila titira. One hotel a day, siguro mag $100. So that is 5,000 pesos. But I don't believe it's more than 100, maybe 200, so 10,000 pesos a day. So if they will stay there for at least 20 days, so 20 days times 10,000. So that is 1 times 20, that is 20 plus 2, 2,000, 20,000. So 10,000 times 1 times 20, 200,000 sa isang tao. Sa hotel lang. So 200,000 plus 160,000 sa pamasahe, that is 360,000. Then they have to pay for the security escorts. They have to get to hire private security experts or personnel from the Hague who will be Dutch authorities, Dutch security escorts. So how much they will pay for each security? Maybe they will be paying for 20 days 100,000 pesos. 100,000 pesos plus 360, that is 460,000 pesos for one witness. If there would be 10 witnesses, then that would be 4.6 million. If they have 100 witnesses, because there were 5,000 plus victims, how much? So 10 times that 10 times 10 again, sabi 100 only. 46, maybe 500, 1/2 billion pesos is more than expected as expenses. So with that, if the shelling for plunder in the Philippines is only 50 million, so how many cases or how many counts of plunder would it be? For each witness, one plunder. And if there would be more than 60 witnesses or 100 witnesses, then that's a very big problem. We in our locality, we do not have money. You are even scoundering, looking for funds to finance your AKAP and to finance your AX. The World Bank report is blaming the act of the Philippine government, the act of the government of BBM in spending so much for ayuda as one of the reasons why we have a bleak economic prospect. Bumaba po ang produksyon ng Pilipinas. Bumaba yung export ng Pilipinas. Bumaba po ang activity sa loob ng Pilipinas para makakolekta ng tamang batas. In other words, maraming nagsara ng negosyo. At bumagsak din ang pagparating ng mga produkto. Kasi sa parating ng mga produkto, in all imports, the government earns from tariffs. Paano kung walang imports? Kukunti kikitain. Pero anyway, andyan naman lagi ang China products na pinapayagan naman ni BBM papasok dito. Sigurado may kukunin silang tariff sa mga China products. despite the fact of pronouncing that he will not allow the spraying of water cannons to our boats, pinapayagan pa rin na magtitinda rito ang China. Yeah, that's the irony of it all. So ano to sa tingin ninyo? Mas magastos ang nangyari kumpara sa kung dito natin kinasuhan si Digong sa Pilipinas. Wala nang gastos practical ang Pilipinas pag dito ang gastos niya lang is gadalhin niya sa Witness Protection Program itong lahat ng testigo. Which is, andyan na yan. Hindi ko konti lang gastos. So ano gagawin niyo? I am for the trial. Patuloy natin ang trial pero dito sa Pilipinas gusto ko mangyari. Pag sinabi natin sa ICC, wala tayong kakayahan mag-trial ng ating sariling kaso. Pinapara mo yung mga kwan tayo, mga wala tayong, parang ano tayo, parang disabled, parang PWD tayo sa international law. Hindi natin kayang isintensyan yung ating mga kriminal dito. So, yan lang po ang aking target. Yung purpose ko ng nito, I'm asking a question. Do you have any law that will support you in your decision to spend money to help the witnesses against Duterte, that they will be brought to The Hague? Yan lang po tanong ko. Kung wala, stop your foolishness. Kasi ang mangyari niyan, marami sigurado ko mga pro-Duterte dyan magsasampa ng reklamo sa Supreme Court to stop you from doing that. Kasi gastos yan. Ang puntos dito, hindi yung hustisya, kundi yung gastos na dapat nakabatas sa Pilipinas. Kunti na nga kinikita natin, magdadagdag pa kayo ng gastos. So, yan lamang po ang aking mag-ano na lang ako. Shout out na lang ako. Si Virgie Piquero, thank you sir. Toto Kausing, you'll love it. Is very informative. Thank you sir Toto. Sige, Helena Lay, biyang na talaga gobyerno natin. Buang pala. Tapos Villa Baliw. Panakot lang ni Romualdez yan. Ang budget talaga ay hindi para dyan sa ICC. Ipapamigay yan sa mga congressmen para sa impeachment ulit. Si Trump na nagsasabi na huwag suportahan yung ICC or face sanctions. Ang dami na nagsilayas dyan. Yung Hungary lang nitong huli. Tapos tayo gusto gumastos para bumalik pa dyan. Benji Pasco, wow, kaya pala nangutang ulit si BBM to finance witnesses against Digong sa ICC. So Benji Piquero, pagtapos sa term ni Adictos, kulungan ang magkukup sa kanya. Tapos Jenaline Isaac, pwede ba mag-apply as fake? Daming fake witness ngayon. Uso ngayon yan, di ba? Sinasabi na yung witness ni Risa Ontiveros ay fake pala yun. Na hindi naman ako naniwala ganun, baka na biktima lang si Risa. Jenaline, nakakatawa nga. Ganun nga mangyari. So, ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat po sa pakinig and make this, share this to your friends para maraming nakakaalam. Ang ating problema lang dito is huwag gagastahin ang pera natin sa mga bagay na hindi naman importante at kung walang batas na nagsusuporta, huwag gagastahin. At nakikiusap ako sa inyo, kung sino man mayroon dyan ay bigyan niyo po ako ng kahit magkano lang para pandagdag po sa kasong isasampa ko na kuwaranto laban kay Erwin Tulfo. Gusto ko siya matatanggal bilang senador kasi Amerikano siya. At ang problema ko lang, sa Senate Electoral Tribunal, ang bayad po ng pagsampa ng kaso ay 50,000 tapos may 10,000 pa na deposit. Yan lamang po. So tulungan niyo po ako. Kung gusto niyo matanggal si Erwin Tulfo bilang senador, tulungan niyo po ako. Ito po ang aking mga numbers. Magandang